Hello, Yvonne Guibert here,
Hey there, Rafael Gonzalez here.
and we are coming at you from Tampa, Florida. We are so excited to be joined by Rosemary Ferguson. Hi, Rosemary.
Good morning.
Well, it's
my time.
Evening for us. Tell our listeners where you're joining us from.
I'm joining you from Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. So it's tomorrow in Australia.
Yes, it is. It's just gone 10 a.m. here.
That's right. And it's
tomorrow. So yeah, welcome to tomorrow and welcome to Sydney.
And it's just after 6 p.m. Eastern time. So what is the weather like in Sydney today?
It looks like we're going to get a little bit of spring rain, which would be nice. So
good.
Getting used to the spring.
Good. Well, the reason we're talking to you today, Rosemary, we are so happy and excited to talk with you. We did just talk with you recently at the Comp Laude Awards event a couple of weeks ago. Can you believe it's been 2 weeks already?
I know. It's and I'm still trying to get my head around it. But yeah, it has been 2 weeks.
Time just marches on. So congratulations once again. Rosemary, you are the top award winner of this year, the David J. DePaolo Summa Comp Laude Award winner for 2021. So, Rosemary, tell us how you feel about that.
I'm still overwhelmed by it. I really am. To say that I mean, I knew David. I worked with David, probably not for as long as I would have liked to work with him before we lost him. But I worked with David probably in a different capacity to many people, because I come from the injured worker community. And I had a very different approach to how the workers' compensation system or processes and the injured worker community should work together. And David understood that. So to be awarded with the Summa Cum Laude in David's name is, to me, it is the top snowflake on top of Mount Everest, as far as I'm concerned. There is no higher award than that. And just to make it even more special, if it could be more special, it's actually the first workers' compensation recognition I have ever received.
Wow.
Really?
Really. I mean, I have many community recognitions for the work that I do within workers' compensation, or within the workers' compensation industry, within the injured worker community. I've got Pride of Australia pins. I've got community awards for doing the stuff that I do. But my own industry has never recognised me. So to be awarded with the Summa Cum Laude is just beyond imagination. Beyond. I mean, I know. Even I will admit I can have some pretty wild imaginations and pretty wild dreams, but I never put myself in that category. I'm so much in awe of the previous recipients. It's kind of like, one day I'll get there, guys. One day, just hang on and wait for me, and then all of a sudden I arrived. Mm. So yeah, it's beyond belief, beyond every dream, beyond every concept I ever had.
Well, I know we've been talking leading up to the awards, and since then we've chatted a couple times, but one of the things that I told you is that I hope that you realize that you're obviously an alumni now, a Comp Laude alumni. I know that David would be so happy to know that you have received this award. And I know, and Raphael, I know that you'll back me up on this. There are so many of our colleagues that admire and respect you for the work that you've done. both in Australia and how you've become so visible and such a part of our industry here in the States.
I guess that's the thing. You spend so much time actually doing the work and doing the research and talking with different people across this, across many industries, that you don't put your head up long enough to see who's watching.
Well, people are watching. Lots of people.
Yeah, well, I noticed that. But it might have come as a bit of a shock. But yeah, it's, I get emails from colleagues all around the world asking, how would I handle something? What would be my thoughts on different aspects? They asked me to read their research papers before they're submitted. I've probably got the best education possible in workers' compensation simply by reading other people's work and reading their papers, reading their books, reviewing them for them, saying, well, this is how I would react to that, whatever that is. So when I got emails congratulating me, it's kind of like, I've never heard of some of these people, but I'm just so grateful for them, for being there and supporting me on my journey, and for trusting me to be part of their journey. As David and I used to say, everything would be so much easier if we just collaborated together.
Right.
Part of all of this for me really is saying to everyone, we're here. We want to be part of everyone's solution. We don't want the antagonism anymore. We don't want the bridge or the gaps that aren't bridged. We want to be that. We want to be there with you, and we want you here with us. Because there should be no us and them in this industry. It should be just one team all heading for the same outcome.
That's right. And so to frame this conversation a little bit, if you're watching and you are not familiar with Rosemary's work, Rosemary, as we already said, she lives in Australia, but Rosemary represents the injured worker community. So I'm super proud of the fact that, we've been recognizing injured workers as part of our Comp Laude Awards and Gala since the first day we started it. I believe this is the first time we've had an injured worker receive the top award. So
yeah, it is, and first time an Australian's won it.
That's right. Lots of firsts. So Raphael, what question do you have for Rosemary?
So Rosemary, before I get to my question, right, we are so incredibly proud of you for the work that you've continued to do, both in Australia and over here. Just like Yvonne has indicated, you've become a superstar here, right? You've become a voice of injured workers here. You are somebody that we have a dialogue with, that we, throw out questions to, and we want your input and your answers and your suggestions. So you have become, as central to the Australian workers' compensation system, to the American workers' compensation system. How very wonderful, right? How when you talk about coming together and finding solutions, how meaningful is that someone who is a day away from us, right, can still be such an incredible part of us here in discussing all of the issues and the concerns and the components of our system. So I want to ask you, what does this mean, not just maybe to you, but to your legacy, right? To the injured folks out there, to the folks that you have been helping and trying to, improve their lives. What do you think this means to them?
I've given a lot of thought to that over the last 10 days, really. What does this mean? It actually means that that last bit of gap that was between the two ends of the bridges is actually now sealed shut, because there is absolutely nothing now to prevent the injured worker community from saying, I want my own goals. I want my own life. I want to build and be who I can be, the best I can be. It may take the injured workers a little bit longer to do something, but they'll get it done, and they'll get it done in the safest way possible. Because in all honesty, I don't want anyone to live in the amount of pain that I live in, or to live with the number of restrictions that I live with. So I'm probably the safest person for anyone to be around, because I'm not going to let them get hurt. But it opens the door to so many different aspects of what has been shut off before. I've not had a tertiary education via the normal means. I've had it basically by trial by fire, and so the injured worker community, and it doesn't matter where they are, whether they're in Australia or Germany or America or anywhere, it doesn't matter where they are, they can now say, there's a pinnacle to reach, and I'm going for that. And I'm going to be the best person that I can be, and I want my life back. And in all of that, we can say to the system, please work with us. We want to be part of this. We don't want to be left out of the conversations anymore. Some of the conversations I've had with industry professionals over the years, and they've said to me, oh, we didn't know you felt that way. Or if you leave somebody out of a conversation, yes, they are going to feel ignored, and they are going to feel left out. So I'm hoping, I really am hoping, that this actually allows for wider, deeper, more meaningful conversations to happen, and for people to realise that everyone needs help. And it's not just the injured worker community that needs help. The system needs help to understand who we are and what we can offer them. Because we have a lot of stuff that we can offer. We just need to have a dialogue in a meaningful, open way to do that. And if I can facilitate that, then I'm up for the job. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. in the morning here, or if I have to get on a plane and fly 17 hours to wherever it is that I need to be. Then if that's what I can do to make it better for everybody, then that's what I intend to do.
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I have a feeling that we are going to be hearing from you on a more regular basis, and I couldn't be happier. And I also know in my heart that, I mean, everybody that we talk to is so grateful and humbled, but I know in my heart of hearts, because I know you, Rosemary, I know that I cannot think of a person that is more grateful and appreciates this award more than you. I know that to be true, because I can remember, I was just looking at this picture yesterday. You and I took a trip with David in his plane to Catalina Island, and you had such a big smile on your face, and I knew that you had such admiration and respect for David then, and I know that continues. And
it does. If David had said to me, we're going to walk across the Sahara Desert and all we're going to take with us is one tiny bottle of water, I would have trusted him to get me there. Trust me, I had such faith in him. Many of the conversations that David and I had was about bringing my work to California and starting it in WorkCom Central and moving out from there. because David had the vision. He could see what we were achieving here, and he wanted it as part of the American process. And I've never let that vision go. 2 reasons I've never let it go, but the main reason is it would be disrespectful to David to let it go. And I loved him far too much to ever disrespect his memory. So it's really is about working that way forward, finding that way forward, and understanding that I may have a different accent to Americans, but my heart, my soul, my everything is within the system and how we can make it better for everyone. Probably don't have the same pizzazz as David had, and I certainly can't fly a plane. Mind you, every time I see a little Cessna, I think of flying to Catalina and overshooting the runway, all the things, and never once feeling unsafe.
That was a special day for sure. Well, listen, Raphael, any parting words? We need to wrap up this segment, and I know that we're going to be having, like I said, future conversations with Rosemary. So, what are your final words with Rosemary?
Thank you, Rosemary. Thanks for your lifetime, really, of service to the workers' compensation community. We're so grateful and so appreciative. Like you, I am hopeful. I am so thankful that the committee, that vetted all of our nominees, saw fit to provide you with the top award, to recognize your work, to recognize your contributions, to say thank you on behalf of our entire industry. Thank you. So I want to repeat that on behalf of that committee and say I'm so proud of you, so incredibly grateful. Thanks for continuing to provide us with your knowledge, your wisdom, your voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm still overwhelmed by all of it. I really am. I said it's not something that you think of. It's not a bracket that you put yourself into. But I am forever grateful to everyone who trusted me or has offered to trust me, and then worked out that I really am just a nice person.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, it is. But I am just a nice person. But before I do go, before this ends, there are thousands of people I need to thank for this. And I'm actually going to thank probably the one person that most people will find strange. I'm actually going to thank my employer, because without my employer, I wouldn't have been injured at work. And over time, there was a lot of anger at the start, and anger and confusion. I messed up his perfect record of never having a workplace injury. But over the many years, we've actually settled into an understanding of all the things that went wrong. And it was the lack of understanding of what to do next and how to get somebody through that most confusing part of an injury is that first initial few days of you don't know what's going on. So Ricky and I have settled into a strange relationship where every now and then you'll send me an email and say, how are you going? How's things? What are you up to? What are you doing? Because he's still an employer, and he reads bits and pieces, sees my name and sends me an email. But my family, my friends, my co-workers, one particular co-worker stands out because I would ring him up and he would meet me at the quarter court at all hours of the morning because he knew that I needed to think something out and I wasn't sleeping. So he would just go down the quarter court with me. My mentors, David goes without, you can never say enough words about David. But there are two other people that I really seriously need to mention here. First one being Kristen, who's always been super, super supportive. And you feel her presence in your life. You know that smile, and you know that she's there somewhere in the background. And you go, it's okay, Kristen's smiling, Kristen's happy. So I'm on the right track. It's if I can make Kristen smile, that I'm on the right track. I don't know if she ever stopped smiling, actually. But you, my dear friend Yvonne, you have always caught me. You've always been there. You've always said, if you need to talk, reach out, I'm here. You've always been there and listened to some of the strangest parts of my life and got me through some pretty tough times. So from my heart to yours, thank you. I really, really mean that. And I am so looking forward to tipping out the piggy bank and being in Daytona in October. Because I have to have a selfie with Raphael. That's the first thing that's going to happen. I don't care about anybody else. Selfie.
So you mean Huntington Beach, right?
Sorry?
You mean Huntington Beach, right?
Yes, yeah, Huntington Beach, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to be there. I've just COVID-19 upset a lot of things. A couple of us were going to sneak in at the end of 2020, but of course COVID hit, so we weren't. So all of that just got cancelled. So we got to do that. But I've just got to be part of all of it again.
Yeah.
And I really am only ever an email away from anybody.
I know that. So, well, Rosemary, we've scheduled our times to talk, and I know that we'll do that more in the future. So I am super looking forward to you being here with us next year at Huntington Beach. It's going to be really special. We're all looking forward to having this event again in person next year.
It's COVID taught us how far apart we are, but really how close we are when we need to be. We've only ever been a Zoom call away.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you today. Congratulations once again. And as I've said, and as Raphael says, I know we're going to hear more from you over the next weeks and months. So looking forward to that.
All right. Bye for now. I'm going to go and do some real work.
That's right. And as Raphael and I like to say, hasta luego.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, I'll say catch you later.
I love that. I love that. Congrats, Rosemary.
Thank you so much. Talk to you all soon.